Are you guys a couple?
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
I have a question.
I've been in love with her for 20 years.
You never told me.
Bad word.
I was expecting, but I had to go with her.
You never told me.
It's so good to see Toni and Birdman sitting together. Don't want that hard side all the time.
To be slain on a low.
Every day.
Why would I have to be so?
It's putting your guard. I can always overspeak the woman that's what I'm gonna do.
But I don't have to.
Y'all, imagine getting married. Then, just 2 days later, you're already filling out divorce papers. Sounds like a reality show plot, right? But nope, this is real life for Toni Braxton and Birdman. Yes, that Birdman. The same "put some respect on my name" icon got hitched, only to immediately start untying the knot. And now, Tamar Braxton might be quietly telling us why. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions and blames it on that infamous Lil Wayne kiss moment, no shade, no judgment, let's make one thing clear. This situation goes way deeper. There's something wild happening behind the scenes, something strategic, something messy. Between rumors of trickery, whispers of the marriage being a calculated move, speculation about Birdman living a double life, and Tamar dropping subtle breadcrumbs, the internet is lighting up with theories. So buckle up, because we're diving into a love story that maybe was never really about love at all. Let's start with the facts. Toni Braxton and Birdman secretly tied the knot on August 8, 2024. No public announcement, no glam Instagram posts, just suddenly married out of nowhere. Then boom. 2 days later, on August 10th, Toni marked that as their separation date. And 2 weeks after that, she filed for divorce, citing the marriage as irretrievably broken. No explanation, no public drama, just paperwork, in and out. Case closed.
Are you guys a couple?
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life.
But hold on, here's the twist. A few months later, Toni dismissed the divorce filing and Birdman agreed. So now everyone's asking, what really happened? Were they actually trying to work things out? Or was something else at play? Was the marriage even real? Tamar Braxton hasn't exactly spilled all the tea outright, but she's been dropping hints. And those hints are pointing to one thing. Maybe Toni never should have married Birdman to begin with. Honestly, the Toni and Birdman saga has always been hard to follow. They've been on and off since 2016, and even when they were on, the pairing had everyone scratching their heads. They're just not the obvious match.
But there's no date.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values, and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of us sisters together.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get us all together, and I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
Calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni at all. That's my middle name, Toni Michelle. Yeah.
Set a date.
Set a date. He said before the year's out, so I have, what, a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
So he's 45, you're 51.
Still, in 2018, Birdman popped the question with a $5 million yellow diamond ring. Yeah, $5 million. It was a whole moment. But then, nothing happened. The wedding kept getting delayed, postponed, and pushed back. Toni said it was a timing thing, but fans weren't buying it. A lot of people were like, girl, this ain't it. Then came the giant red flag. Toni lost the ring. Like, actually lost a $5 million ring on a flight. The bag showed up later, but the ring? Gone. Vanished. And the wild part? Birdman didn't even get mad. He just brushed it off like it was no big deal. That's when folks really started asking, is this relationship even legit? And honestly, I'm still wondering, was the ring even real? Because $5 million isn't just pocket change. That's not something you shrug off like a lost hoodie. By 2019, they unfollowed each other. Birdman posted a cryptic "It's over" on IG and then claimed the whole thing was just publicity. So now we've got to ask, was this love or was it all for the cameras? Well, according to Tamar, the truth is out there. She just isn't spelling it out. Not yet. She's keeping it just cryptic enough to stir the pot. But let's get into this divorce filing, because Miss Toni did not hold back. Toni officially filed for divorce just 2 weeks after marrying Birdman, describing the marriage as irretrievably broken. That's legal speak for, "This can't be saved, I'm out." And what makes it even wilder is that there were no public fights, no cheating scandals, no dramatic blowouts, just silence. It was like she had instant regret the second the ink dried on the marriage license. But then, months later, she pulled a 180 and dismissed the divorce, like it never happened. One minute it was, "He's not man enough for me," and the next it was, "I love me some him." So what really went down? People started speculating that something serious must have happened during those first 48 hours that flipped the entire situation. And let's be honest, it's giving cold feet mixed with major regret. This wasn't just another messy love story. It felt like something much deeper. According to Tamar, this may not have been a case of bad judgment, but a calculated decision. She didn't lay out every single detail, but trust. She dropped enough hints for fans to start piecing things together. In one post, she talked about how women sometimes settle for security over love. In another, she mentioned how people rush to lock down partners who aren't truly ready. It didn't take long for the internet to start connecting dots. Could Toni have been in a vulnerable place? Maybe she said, "I do" for stability or for estate planning, or maybe just because Birdman was there. Whatever the reason, it's clear this marriage wasn't what it looked like on the surface. Fans think Toni might have tricked Birdman into saying yes, and Tamar's reactions suggest she might actually agree. Look at the timeline: a sudden wedding, a lightning-fast separation, and complete legal silence afterward. It's almost too neat, like Toni just wanted that last name for a reason we haven't fully uncovered yet. But let's address the elephant in the room. Anytime Birdman's name gets mentioned, someone always brings up Wheezy F Baby. Please say the baby. And of course, that infamous kiss. Or should we say kisses, plural. There are multiple clips spanning years of Birdman kissing Lil Wayne on the lips. Sometimes it looked like a brotherly gesture, and sometimes it didn't. Now let's be real. We see it, we hear it, and no one's judging. But in the world of hip-hop, that kind of thing doesn't go unnoticed. So when Tamar started hinting that Birdman's loyalty might not lie with Toni, people started side-eyeing the entire situation. The rumors picked up fast. Is Birdman on the DL? Was this marriage a lavender situation meant to clean things up for the public eye? If that's the case, maybe Toni wasn't a bride. Maybe she was a business partner. Because when you look at everything, the timing, the lack of emotion, the vibe, it never really gave happily ever after. And here's where it hits a little different. Toni Braxton has been battling lupus for years. She's had major complications, even life-threatening scares. And when you're living with a chronic illness, things like financial security, estate planning, and legal protection become serious. So maybe this wasn't about romance at all. Maybe it was about making sure the pieces were in place, no matter what. So here's a theory. What if Toni married Birdman not for love, but for legal and financial security? Not to build a life together, but to make sure her family would be protected if something ever happened to her. Birdman's got money, influence, and he was there through some of Toni's darkest moments. In one interview, she even said he used to ask her every night, "Are you okay? Are you good?" So maybe, just maybe, this marriage wasn't about romance. Maybe it was about peace of mind, stability, control, something that made her feel secure when everything else felt uncertain. And Tamar? She's kind of backing this up too. She's hinted that Toni has always had a sharp mind for business and planning. So now the question is starting to shift. Was this marriage ever about love, or was it about survival? And that $5 million ring? Yeah, let's go back to that mess, because it's still raising a lot of eyebrows. After getting engaged in 2018, Toni boarded a flight, and somehow the ring vanished mid-trip. She later said the luggage was recovered, but the ring? Gone. Just like that. Now let's be real. If you drop $5 million on a ring, especially in a relationship that's already unstable, you don't just shrug it off like you misplaced a phone charger. But that's exactly what Birdman did. No meltdown, no anger, no big reaction at all. He basically told her, "It's all good. I'll get you another one." And that's when fans really started side-eyeing the whole thing. Because who reacts like that to losing a multi-million-dollar ring? It didn't make sense. And honestly, it still doesn't. Unless, of course, the ring, and maybe the engagement itself, was never really what it seemed. Even for something that expensive, fans started wondering, was the ring even real? Was the engagement itself just for show? Looking back, that whole moment feels like a turning point. Like maybe neither of them was ever fully in it, if they ever were to begin with. Here's the real tea, something Tamar has hinted at more than once. Toni was never head over heels in love with Birdman. She respected him, she cared for him, and yes, he stood by her during her battles with lupus and through personal heartbreaks. But love, as in deep, passionate, build a life with you kind of love, that wasn't what fans were seeing. Even during their time together, Toni rarely looked truly happy around him in public. She sidestepped wedding questions in interviews, kept details vague on social media, and any photos of the two, either rare, deleted later, or missing completely. Some fans believe she was torn, still emotionally connected to her past with Carrie Lewis, juggling motherhood, and possibly trying to convince herself to settle for someone who looked good on paper. According to Tamar, Toni was trying to force something that just wasn't meant to be. And let's be super clear about the timeline. Married on August 8th, separated by August 10th. That's not cold feet. That's a sprint straight out the door. And here's where it gets really wild. Word is, Birdman ghosted Toni immediately after the wedding. She filed for divorce just 2 weeks later, but by then, the damage was already done. And reportedly, Tamar told close friends that Birdman saw something he didn't like, right after the vows were said. Maybe it was a vibe shift. Maybe Birdman realized he got played. Or maybe he never wanted to be married at all and felt pressured into it. The whole thing gives, "I'll do this for you, but I'm not sticking around." Some insiders even claim Birdman thought the marriage was just symbolic, not legally binding. So when he realized Toni was serious, he was out. Tamar didn't say it outright, but she definitely hinted that Toni moved fast, and Birdman moved faster in the other direction. And it's sparking a much bigger conversation online about how women often settle for safe men instead of soulful, emotionally present ones. Just because someone can provide doesn't mean they can truly partner with you. And Toni's story? It checks every box in that debate. Tamar's always been the loudest Braxton. But when it comes to family, she usually keeps it cute. She's only messy when it's real. So this time, her shade feels more like frustration. Like a little sister finally fed up watching Big Sis make the same mistake on repeat. And she's not alone. A lot of fans were waving red flags way back in 2018. But every time questions came up, Toni just said, "It's complicated." That answer kept things vague enough to keep the hope alive, even if nothing really made sense. Now here's the part that's really got people spinning. Was the marriage ever even real? Or was it staged for the cameras? Let's not forget, Braxton Family Values was known for serving big drama and jaw-dropping reveals. And what's bigger than a secret wedding? From the start, Toni and Birdman's entire relationship felt like a production. No wedding photos, no honeymoon glow, no shared posts, just a quiet, off-screen marriage followed up by a louder, off-screen breakup. It didn't feel like love. It felt like a storyline that ended the second the camera stopped rolling. And if you line up the timeline, something starts to click. Every major public move in their relationship seemed to drop right when the Braxtons had a new project coming out. Coincidence? Some say no. Fans are now wondering if this entire marriage was more about Toni's image, Birdman's brand, and boosting ratings, not about romance. Because the vibe never gave married couple. It gave co-stars playing their roles. Some believe Toni married Birdman to lock in her legacy. Others think Birdman only said yes to finally silence years of whispers, including those rumors about him being on the DL. Then there's the wildest theory, that this was a full-on lavender marriage, a strategic arrangement where Toni got legal protection and a powerful partner on paper, and Birdman got a traditional image that helped him dodge speculation. And while Tamar hasn't said it out loud, fans are convinced she's been hinting at all of this the entire time. Let's also be real. Birdman's never been shy or low-key. If this was real love, wouldn't we have some kind of proof? A wedding photo? A honeymoon pic? A single sweet moment captured somewhere? Instead, it all felt like a business deal gone wrong. And fast. But here's the part that gets a little sad. Maybe this wasn't a scam. Maybe it wasn't a stunt. Maybe it was just two people, both a little tired, a little lonely, trying to fill a void. Toni's been facing serious health issues, career transitions, aging in a brutal industry. Birdman, on the other hand, might have been trying to rebrand himself, settle into something more grounded. Maybe they were both craving something stable, just not with each other. And maybe they tried to force it, and maybe it broke in 2 days. Which brings us to the question that won't go away. Did Toni Braxton trick Birdman into marrying her? Or did they both just trick themselves into thinking it could work? Did Birdman trap himself just trying to save face? Or were they both just tired, lonely, and reaching for something that felt like love, even if it wasn't? Tamar Braxton's comments might have been subtle, but best believe the internet caught all of it. Because let's be real, this never looked like love. It looked like a contract. And that 2-day marriage? It said more in silence than any interview ever could. Whatever this was supposed to be, it crumbled fast. And that alone tells us everything we needed to know. But now I want to hear from you. Was this a strategic move, a failed love story, or just a messy mix of both? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. If you love celeb gossip, behind-the-scenes tea, and messy relationship drama, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.